Hello and welcome again to Mr. Calcutt Explains, and today we're going to be looking at direct speech sentences. So direct speech is when we report some speech by repeating back the words that are being said by the character or the person. So let's look at some of the main rules of direct speech. So first of all, we need inverted commas. Now these are sometimes known as speech marks as well, and they go either side of the words that are being said. Next, we need to make sure we've got a capital letter at the start of the speech. Thirdly, we need to use a comma which separates the words being said, the speech, and the reporting clause. So we need a reporting clause as well. Now, the reporting clause in this example sentence is said Tim. So it's a speaking verb, like said, and then the person who's doing the speaking. So in this instance, it's Tim. And then the last rule down there is we have a new speaker, we go on to a new line. So here we have an example of direct speech. So roast dinners are the best, said Mr. Calcutt. I agree, said Alfie. So we've got our inverted commas either side of what's being said in both sentences. We've got a capital letter at the start of what's being said. We've also got a comma to separate the speech part of the sentence to the reporting clause in both examples. We've got a reporting clause, so said Mr. Calcutt and said Alfie. And we've got a new speaker, so it goes on to a new line. I could have started the I bit up here, but it's a new speaker, new line. Now, I'd like us to look at reporting clauses in a bit more detail, because that's where we can really play around with our direct speech sentences. So on our first example, we've put the comma there, just in front of the last inverted commas, to separate the speech from the reporting clause. But we can move the reporting clause to the start of the sentence. So I've moved it here, so now it says Mr. Calcutt said roast dinners are the best. And here, if you look, the comma has moved to outside of the inverted commas as well. It still separates the reporting clause to the rest of the speech, but it's outside of the inverted commas rather than inside. Now, the reporting clause is where we can up-level our sentence if we play around with it a bit further. So we can change the word said to a better word, and we can also add an adverb to it. So back with our original example, roast dinners are the best, said Mr. Calcutt. Let's have a think about what we could change that speaking verb said to improve our reporting clause. Now there's absolutely hundreds you could use. There's whispered, shouted, cried, murmured, muttered. There are hundreds. I'm going to go for announced. So roast dinners are the best, announced Mr. Calcutt. And now let's up-level it further by adding an adverb to the end of that reporting clause. So roast dinners are the best, announced Mr. Calcutt. Could have happily, could have loudly, could have noisily. But I've gone for roast dinners are the best, announced Mr. Calcutt hungrily. And I've got that written down here. So roast dinners are the best, announced Mr. Calcutt hungrily. And that's how you write direct speech sentences. And remember, if you want to improve your sentences, try up-leveling your reporting clauses.